Hey, what's up, boxing fans? This is the Rope and Dope Report. I am your host, Chris Carlson, and I'm back to make a video about Manny Pacquiao and where his future is, and let's talk a little bit about Pacquiao. I'm still in shock, I have to admit. It was weird because right when the hit happened, we were all like, "Oh!" My whole house went nuts. Then we're like, "Oh my God, is that okay? Is he dead?" Or I'm not trying to make fun of the situation, saying he's dead, But we were worried for a second. Then he got up. He looked okay. He kind of gave a half smile. Okay, he's up. All right, good. But anyway, like I said, I'm blown away. Not because of the KO or the left hand that Floyd knocked out. It's not the same left hand, but it was a left clean, great punch that got Hatton twice now. I'm just shocked it happened so early. It's funny because right after the fight, and actually for the last couple days now, I've gotten all these comments about people going, "How could you? I picked Pac-Man to win." Now I thought it could be a TKO from the corner, throwing in the white towel, maybe from a cut because he has a history. Hatton has a history of cuts, or I thought it would be a decision. I thought it would be a tight fight though. To be honest with you, the first 5-6 rounds, I saw it competitive. I saw it really fun to watch. I saw all this stuff, and then the speed coming, for Pacquiao in taking it over. Maybe a late stoppage, maybe, a unanimous decision. That's where I went wrong. So I will say, Manny, I'm sorry. To his fans, I'm sorry. Only sorry a little bit, though. Let's not act like... I get some comments that are just hilarious. Why didn't you know the outcome? First of all, boxing is like one of the hardest things to predict because of that one punch. But not only that, it's just... Who thought that it'd be the second round? In fact, for all the people that are making comments, and I know they're making comments to all these shows, because a lot of these people had Hatton in the fight at least to the 5th or 6th, 7th round. Why didn't you put money down in Vegas? Why didn't you, I don't know what kind of money you're working with, but why didn't you put $50,000 or $100,000 or $1,000 or $20 or $50 or $500, whatever kind of finances you have? Why didn't you put that down in Vegas? You know how much money you could have said, "I want a second round knockout for Pacquiao." You could have made a lot of money. Now, saying Pacquiao was going to win by a KO is not great odds because a lot of people thought that. I thought it could happen too. But that early? Come on, man. And then you say, "Oh, I can't believe you got your prediction that wrong." Did I? I picked Pacquiao. In fact, I won money on Pacquiao to win, and I won money on a KO. So I actually predicted it somewhat right. Anyway, I just had to get that off my chest. Manny Pacquiao, man. And I understand why you got so many crazy fans. And I love you guys. I really do, because I love the debate. Some of those guys are just so over the top where you're like, whatever. But I do love the debate, so keep the comments coming. Just try to think it through a little more. Don't just, because now I hear Floyd's going to get killed. 6 rounds, Floyd, KO. Floyd hasn't been put on his butt yet. He's been buzzed. He's been hurt. On the way in, Zab caught him, and their feet could have got tangled up. He put a hand down, but he's never been put on his butt. So unless it's just a straight Roy Jones style concussion, then I could say Pacquiao's going to knock him out. But don't come to me saying Floyd's going to get knocked out. No problem. Done deal. Like the fight's over. Not only that, but same with Marquez Mayweather. Everyone's going over Marquez. Like he can just get walked through. Anyway, this is for Pacquiao. Now, I've been watching boxing since the 80s. I'd say about kind of early 80s, although I was really young, so I don't totally remember it. I've seen all those fights, and I own a lot of them. But I can't say that I was so into it. But by 84, 85, I was into it. And have been a fan ever since. So I can't say that I've watched every single fight. I've never amateur boxed. I've never professional boxed. I wasn't a trainer. I've only been to a couple live fights actually there. And only one really kind of larger fight, big fight on HBO once. So I'm no professional, okay? But I can't recall, and please leave a comment if you know this, but I can't recall a guy that's improved more than Pacquiao. Now, I've been following Pacquiao since about was it 2001 or 2003 that he came on the scene at 122, won the title. I had heard about him, but I hadn't seen him until he was on, I believe, HBO when he came in for a late switch. I think it was 2 or 3 weeks or 10 days, something like that, that Pacquiao came in as a fill-in fighter and got the title. And ever since then, my whole thing is, I haven't seen a fighter improve as much. If you look at him from whenever that was, 2001 or 2003, to all the way up about 2005-ish, right before he's going to fight Morales, you look at that style, and then you look at the style that he's turned into, I haven't seen a guy improve that much. Usually these guys that are really good are just good because they've been doing it since they were young. They went to the amateurs, fought hundreds of fights in the amateurs, or at least 100 fights in the amateurs, got to go against a bunch of different styles, got to see what worked, what didn't, hone their skills slowly, but since they're a youngster. Whereas Pacquiao, ever since he got with Freddie Roach, and just in general, he's just improved so much. I talk about a lot of things. He used to be just a left-hand puncher. Then he got to the 1-2 and the 1-2, but now he's actually setting up shots. He's every fight, he doesn't necessarily do a bunch of different things in one fight, but every fight he adds something more. Like in the knockdown, a lot of people are like, oh, it's a crazy left, or they called it a counter left. But really, he set up the shot. They're kind of selling him short because he set up the shot. He actually threw a right hand, and I'm pretty sure it was a pretty straight right hand, but it kind of looked like it was going to Hatton's left. And he kind of did this and then ducked out of what was maybe coming from Hatton and hit him with that left. So not only did he just counter with a left, like I said, a lot of people are counting. I don't even know if you technically call that a counter. I think he beat him to the shot. I think they were throwing around the same time, and Pacquiao was just faster and was smarter in that position to where he faked, ducked a shot that's about to come, and caught him with that left hand perfectly. So there's a couple different things that he used that you never see out of Pacquiao. So he's just improved. Tell me, though, if anyone knows of a fighter that's improved that much from, this stage to that stage, I'd like to know, because I want to read more about that person. Anyway, that's my point. What is Pacquiao doing next? Bob Arum at the post-fight conference said Miguel Cotto. And I say Miguel Cotto because that's how Harold Letterman says it. Miguel Cotto. Harold Letterman, the HBO guy, the judge, the guy that always said, effective aggressiveness. I got a picture of him, by the way, at a fight. Anyway, I'll shut up. What the hell was I just saying? Oh, okay. Bob Arum, after the fight, said, we're going to wait. Before we do anything, we're waiting for the Cotto fight. If Cotto wins, we're fighting in November. Okay? Now, is that true? I think it is, because it's an in-house thing. He can milk both cows, that way. Obviously, the big cash cow is Pacquiao, but Cotto is no chump himself on the pay-per-view and on the crowds, And on, he'd have his country behind him. Puerto Rico, is huge in boxing. So he could keep it in-house, get the deals done, get the deals that he wants for both fighters, and have a big pay-per-view event. So does he mean this? Because the whole problem is the lion's share. Pacquiao only gets the lion's share. Everybody's kind of come down to Pacquiao. They said, we'll fight Mosley if he comes down. I don't believe Mosley can get much further down. Maybe 145, but I don't think he can get any lower than that. He actually weighed in 2 times. Had to weigh in a second time against Margarito. He doesn't look weak at 147. He looks great. He's different at 154. A little less at 154, in my opinion. I think he's awesome at 147, but I can't see him getting down any further than 145. So I'm not sure what that is. I said that about Cotto. You got to come down and meet me. Well, it's probably a catch weight. It's probably like a 144, 143, Marquez Mayweather type catch weight. It better be, because Cotto even said I got out of the 140, category, weight division, because he couldn't make the weight anymore, and he was weak in those fights. So he went up to 147 because he can't make that weight. So it's a catch weight thing, But I do think it's either that's going to be the fight, Cotto, or he's just playing with Mayweather, and they're going to take on the winner of Mayweather-Marquez. Leave a comment. Like to know what you think of the video. Not just the video, but what I was talking about. Tell me some things about it. Anyway, I'm your host, Chris Carlson. This is another edition of the Rope-A-Dope Report. Peace.